Hi, I'm Mark Saul. I'm an attorney and also a CPA and a partner here at Carpenter, Hazlewood, Delgado, and Bolin. Today I'd like to talk with you briefly about the small business tax credit that was rolled out recently in the Obamacare bill. At Carpenter Hazlewood, we've been representing Arizona businesses since about 1988. We represent both tax-exempt nonprofit entities as well as for-profit entities. We help those businesses with any transactional needs and also litigation. The small business tax credit is the one advantage, I would say, that came out of Obamacare for employers, especially small businesses. Certain small businesses that meet certain requirements can qualify for the tax credit, which gives you a little bit of break from your tax bill at the end of the year from the IRS. What's interesting is that it's estimated between 1.4 million and 4 million small businesses qualified to receive a small business tax credit in tax year 2010, but only approximately 170,300 employers actually filed for and obtained that small business tax credit. You may ask yourself why. Well, one reason is probably because that small business may have just been ignorant of the small business tax credit and just didn't even know about it. And then the second reason is maybe they knew about the tax credit, but they just didn't feel that it was worth their time or their CPA's time to fill out all the paperwork and actually obtain the tax credit. In order to qualify for the small business tax credit, the employer must employ less than 25 employees. And they also must pay those employees less than $50,000 on average. The employer must also purchase their health insurance from the Federal Exchange for Small Businesses, which is known as SHOP. They really just have to buy from an exchange, but as you may know, Governor Brewer has stated publicly that Arizona is not going to set up an exchange. Therefore, the only exchange that will be available is set up by the federal government. Now, this sounds too good to be true, and in a way it is, because as usual, the federal government set up what's called a phase-out. The maximum credit will be received by employers that employ less than 10 employees and pay those employees less than $25,000 on average. So this isn't for everybody, but it could help out quite a few employers out there. As stated before, nearly 4 million employers as of 2010 qualified to receive at least part of this tax credit. There's a gradual phase-out if you have between 11 and 25 employees, and if those employees are making on average between $25,000 and $50,000 per year. So what we're saying is the sweet spot is less than 10 employees making less than $25,000 on average. If you have more than 25 employees making more than $50,000 on average, you're completely phased out. You will not receive any tax credit. For 2013, the tax credit is 35% of the health care premiums paid by the employer for for-profit businesses, and for tax-exempt and nonprofit entities, it's 25% tax credit. In 2014, that's increased to a 50% tax credit for for-profit businesses and a 35% tax credit for tax-exempt entities like churches and charities. For-profit companies file what's called a Form 8941 with the IRS to obtain this small business tax credit, while if you're a nonprofit tax-exempt entity, you file what's called a 990T in order to obtain your tax credit. At Carpenter Hazlewood, we do offer flat fee pricing on Obamacare review, and we also offer flat fee pricing for small business tax credit assistance. We like to emphasize on the headcount strategies to minimize exposure. If you have more than 50 employees and if you have less than 25 employees, we'll help you try to get that small business tax credit as well. To contact us, please go to our website at carpenterhazlewood.com/Obamacare. You may also contact our managing partner, Scott Carpenter. You may contact me or Jason Smith if you're in Tucson. And if you're up in Prescott or in northern Arizona, you can contact our Prescott partner, Jim Atkinson. Thank you.